Hello everybody, today is Thursday, November 30th. It's 3:32, about a half hour before the regular session close. The EMini S&P continuing to make new highs at 2645. And you see the time and sales here in real time. Another really great day, a lot of winning charts, as I guess a rising tide floats all boats. This time the DAX on the 10 range hit its goal with no slippage on two trades here, back to back, a short and a long, both with really excellent trade entry here, as you can see. There's just been tremendous volatility in the DAX. You see this move went twice as high. The 14 ticks on the DAX both got stopped out, but we had some other charts on the DAX did pretty good. Okay, so this is a chart of the DAX on the Super 6 tick, and I'm trying something completely new here. These trades are in real time. You can see the split fills. It didn't make 12,000 today. It made about $1,050. The beginning equity curve is actually right here. Right here is the first real-time trade. Actually right here. This exit was historical, and then you can see the split fill. We'd never have a split fill on a historical trade. If you look back at all the historical trades, we don't have a single split fill. So as soon as I went live, we had a split fill, which was right about, which was right here. I really only turned this on at about 10 minutes to 1 p.m. Eastern time. And so our beginning equity was, it looks like 88,271, and we rode up to 89,680. So it's about $1,400 or so. Actually, it was more like 88,611, and we rode up to 89,656. So as stated, a little over $1,000 on just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trades here. And what's different about this, so I'm just going to kind of show the live trades here, which is just these group of 5 or 6 trades. And this kind of goes to show the DAX, the potential of the DAX is just enormous. On my trade management, this is one of the few times I've used a stop order, because this strategy kind of relies on taking every swing. And what I'm doing here is I'm taking one contract off at a very early target, 7 ticks, and then as soon as I hit 7 ticks, I'm trailing by the volatility stop, which is the little hash marks here, minus 1 tick. And that's so, like here, we would have been stopped out because this touched the volatility stop, but because I have a 1 tick offset, this would have to go 1 tick beyond the volatility stop. And you can see here when it exited, it was 1 tick beyond the volatility stop. No big deal, but it kept us from being stopped out early. So anyway, I'm trailing beyond the volatility stop by 1 tick, and then at 20 ticks, I'm trailing the volatility stop. So as stated, this depends on a stop order, which means you're going to get filled on every swing, winners and losers alike. But with the volatility in the DAX, the enormous on this is potential. Just want to remind everybody again, this didn't make 12,000 today. This is historical looking back. But in real time, when I turned it on, which was just, and let it trade just for an hour and a half at the very end of the day, it did about $1,000 on 2 contracts. Okay, the crude oil and the 14 tick Super Renko showing well on the crude. Here we have 2 trades, 2 short trades. Probably didn't get filled on our limit order here on this long trade, but we did go short twice, and that brought us to 1250 for the day on 2 contracts. The EMini S&P on a 987 tick line break had two really great trades. Actually, one of the trades was just spectacular here. You can see the entry. This is just a spectacular trade here, and the exit. And our settings on this is first target is 24 ticks, second is 32, and we are using a line break algorithm entry at the close of the bar, which you can see a limit entry at the close, and this did 1275 for the day. Pretty impressive. Our goal on this is 1300, so we had a tick of slippage. Okay, the EMini S&P on the Precision Renko 5 tick with 132% reversal has a close P&L of 1162, and we're currently short 3, taking a little bit of heat on the trade. So you can see the trades here. Here is our open position going against us. So we may end up with a little bit less, but here it is. Looks like our equity high was about 1500. Our daily goal on this is there is no daily goal. So we just got stopped out on this trade, and it is going long. This has a limit order at the close of the bar, and that brought us down to 975. Hopefully we won't get whipsawed on this, but that's the way it goes. Okay, a lot of charts hit their $1,000 goal, a very lot of them. This one is the crude oil on the 987 BWT Heikin-Ashi chart. This had two trades, a small loser here and a really excellent short trade, both with excellent entry and exit. This did 970 for the day. Okay, the mid cap appearing almost as consistent as the DAX. This has been really consistent on this 6-tick chart, and this did 990, just shy of its goal of 1,000. It hit its goal of 1,000, had a tick of slippage. There were some big swings after this, so I could probably raise the profit target on this chart. Just some excellent swings. Just want to point out the indicator signals here. The pullback to the volatility stop on both of these trades, it's almost like a mirror of each other. So very impressive performance on the mid. Okay, next up is the crude oil on a 377 tick Heikin-Ashi chart, and this had two trades. Kind of similar to the other chart, but a small loser and then this really nice short trade as a winner. The Dow on a 500 tick Heikin-Ashi chart did 985 on 3 contracts. This had a small winner and a small loser and then a winner here, and definitely short on the goal. This had much more to go, but we hit our goal here and had a tick of slippage. The EMini S&P on a 1597 tick Heikin-Ashi chart. You can see the equity curve here. This has also been very strong since I've started showing it. It hasn't been that long, but very impressive on this time frame. Okay, the gold contract hitting its goal of 1,000 on 2 trades, a long and a short, and much more to go here, but hitting our profit goal, no problem. Very impressive performance. Okay, the crude oil on a regular 377 tick chart hit its goal of 1,000. We had 2 losers, drew down only about 200, and then came back with several winners to hit our goal. The EMini S&P on a 4-range chart with a 2 Super Renko higher time frame This did 400 on a couple of trades here. The EMini S&P on a Super Renko 2-tick chart with a 4-tick Super Renko higher time frame has been very consistent, not knocking it out of the park as far as profits, but still very consistent, so suitable for a small account. It doesn't trade as much, usually takes 1 or 2 trades in a day and rides them out for a while. So still on the plus side of the ledger for this chart. Okay, EMini S&P Super Renko 4-tick with a higher time frame of the lower time frame, Super Renko 2-tick other time frame. We saw this chart yesterday. Today it did 737.50 on 2 contracts. The EMini S&P on a Super Renko 2-tick chart trading 3 contracts did 675, and it probably hit its goal of 750 and had a tick of slippage or 2 ticks of slippage. You can see our daily goal here. Actually, our goal is 700, so 1 tick of slippage. Okay, next up is the EMini S&P on a 2500 tick Heikin-Ashi chart, and this had an equity high of about, I'm going to say $700 or so. Almost $800 was our equity high, and then we had a couple of losers here that brought us back down to 337.50. And then finally, our EMini S&P on a Super Renko 6-tick did 325, which is still a respectable return in the EMini S&P for trading 2 or 3 contracts here. Our equity high was about 600, but we took a losing trade here at the very end, and that knocked us down a little bit. Okay, so back to our EMini S&P on a 5-132. We had a winner and a loser, and then this winning trade here, and so now we just closed at just a few minutes before the market closed at 1,037 in profit, so a little better than when we first looked. But I want to come back to this chart because I think this has tremendous potential here on a stop order on the DAX. So we'll be looking at this. This did about $1,000 in real time just in an hour of trading. So that's all for today's video. If you'd like to find out more, please visit our website or send us an email to systems@bluewavetrading.com. Thanks for watching today.